sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. Easy-tasting Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. And by Sears Tire and Auto Center, a home of straight talk, good values, and satisfaction.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, where today the Los Angeles Rams, one of two unbeaten teams in the NFL, the 7-0 record, play host to the New Orleans Saints, who come in here with a 3-4 record. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, along with Hank Stram. And Hank, the Saints haven't lost here, or I should say the Rams haven't lost here since 1976. They're tough.
Well, you know, that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they're not throws the ball that quickly. This is a pass to the fullback, Tony Galbraith, and I'm sure they feel that they can lick Brzezinski, number 59. We felt that way last year when we played them and beat them 27-26, Gary, and I think that's going to be a very important factor in this game.
Manning earlier this year in that loss on October 1st had 3 touchdown passes against the Rams. First down across the 35. Tony Galbraith, and Galbraith out across the 40-45, and Galbraith has another first down to the 50-yard line. He had 85 yards last week rushing. Boy, he had a big hole on that play.
It's just a straight-ahead shot. The right side of the offensive line did a very good job. LaFerrier and Woods, and an excellent job of running by Tony Galbraith. There you see Elmendorf trying to make the play, but it was a great game by Tony Galbraith.
14-yard pickup to the midfield stripe. Elmendorf and Simpson combining on the stop. And the Saints are moving the football. Manning giving off to Tony Galbraith again, and he gets a yard, and that's about all. Into the Ram, into the field. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker. Jack Youngblood combining on the stop.
Jim Youngblood made the tackle of LaFerrier, the right guard, full on the play with the expectation of blocking Youngblood, but he didn't do a good job, and as a result, they just made about a half a yard on the play with Tony Galbraith carrying the football. And that time, they were in a slot formation with both Ike Harris and Tinker Owens on the left side of the football with the backs remaining at home.
Tinker Owens back in the lineup. He's been shelved with an injury. Second down, 9. Manning again throwing on second down. The protection's there. This is going to be to the near side and picked off. Giles intended receiver. Elmendorf has it. Dave Elmendorf. Elmendorf to the 50, and he's to the 49.
Yellow flag on the play.
There is a flag way back where the ball was intercepted. And Childs, who is the intended receiver, is indicating it's against Los Angeles.
Archie threw that ball right into coverage that time. Elmendorf came over and saw the ball, watched Archie throw into the area, but evidently there was pass interference on the play, and New Orleans has possession, 1st and 10.
Let's listen now and see who it's against. That's Rod Perry. You probably picked up some of that. Having a little trouble with the officials, Mike. But Rod Perry, the pass interference. And boy, what a reversal that is. Instead of having the ball at the Saints 49, the Saints have it first down at the 29 of Los Angeles.
And the other thing that happened on that last play, Gary, was the fact that Tony Galbraith was wide open in the flat. Archie made up his mind, I think, to throw deep downfield, but Galbraith was wide open again, and I think they're going to try very hard to work on Brzezinski because he doesn't cover against the pass nearly as well as he does the run.
Archie with 7 interceptions this year and 7 touchdowns. He's going to throw on first down. He's being chased by Jack Youngblood. Look at that block. And Manning, he can run with the best of them. He just dumped that off to Larry Brooks.
Larry Brooks made a great play, chased him all over the place, number 90. He was thrown. He ran to his left with the anticipated the play-action pass. He got chased out of the pocket by Youngblood. And Archie runs to his left, and he tries to hit Chuck Muncie, but Muncie did not move around and get away from the defense. But in conjunction with that, Brooks, number 90, did a great job of pursuing and knocked the ball down. Almost intercepted it.
Boy, he did. Larry Brooks, he hadn't had those hands to heavily taste. He's 6'3", 254, leading tackler. He has 4 sacks, and he's always around the ball. Look at that final. Tampa Bay over Chicago. That's a shocker. That's 5 straight losses for the Bears. 2nd and 10 now. Here's Galbraith. Nothing doing. Boy, you look at this defense. of Los Angeles, Hank. They're number one against the rush. They're only allowing a little over 100 yards a game.
You know, the other thing that's tough, Larry Brooks is one of the most unsung players in the National Football League. He doesn't get an awful lot of recognition, but I tell you, he's a great player and a hard guy to contend with. He's so concerned about Grier and Youngblood on the outside that sometimes, you know, you neglect to realize how great a player he really is.
Boy, the Jets continue St. Louis's losing streak. They're now 0-8. Jets have been remarkable since losing Richard Todd to injury. The nickel defense in now. 5 defensive backs in for the Rams on a 3rd and 10. And he's back. They got a blitz. Coming through is Youngblood. Jim Youngblood coming through on the blitz. That's his 4th sack of the year, and that's a lot of sacks for a linebacker.
They didn't touch him. He flipped from the inside watching. He got through there without anybody getting a hand on him, and of course Archie had no chance whatsoever. He's trying to dodge the bullet, but he finally gets shot by Youngblood.
Takes them out of the field goal range, and they lose yardage way back to their own 44-yard line. They lost 28 yards on that play. Devastating sack, and now Jackie Wallace, number 20, goes back for the Rams. Tom Blanchard, who is 3rd in the NFC, will be kicking it away for the Saints. 0-0 our score, 10:42 to go. First quarter from the Coliseum. Blanchard, who's just been kicking the tar out of the ball, gets another one. They're going to let it hit. It goes all the way in for the touchback. And Blanchard has been just superb. He's averaging over 41 yards a kick. So they bring it back out to the 20-yard line. The Rams will have their first crack at the ball. We'll be back as there's 10:24 left in the first quarter.
We're here to remove this dead tree with a Skilsaw brand chainsaw. It's solid state for easy start, light and controllable, with patented anti-vibration handles and an exclusive inertia chain brake system that works when others won't. Plus, skill, quality, and dependability won't let you down. Skilsaw chainsaws. To do it with confidence, do it with skill. And the exclusive inertia chain brake system that works when others won't.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new 79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for 79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
And the Rams, after a 56-yard kick, will set it up. There's Pat Hayden with McCutcheon getting his 2nd starting call of the year. Willie Miller, Jesse Nelson. Boy, Nelson, they feel, is the key to that offensive passing attack. And big Doug France leads that forward wall up front for the Rams. McCutcheon, Capoletti, the running back behind Hayden. This is Lawrence McCutcheon, and he's going nowhere. McCutcheon had really tough sledding this year. He had a torn thigh muscle. Saw his first action 2 weeks ago. There's the forward wall. Alex Price, by the way, the leading tackler in the NFC. Derlin Moore, the veteran, coming back from 2 knee operations. Perlow, Fetterspiel, and Hughes. Fetterspiel, outstanding in the middle. That secondary, they have some speed, and Spencer and Chapman, and they'll be tested today.
The first play, they were in a triple wing formation, which means they have 3 receivers on the right side of the ball. Looked like they had an advantage, but they didn't block it well.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Hayden on 2nd down to throw. And on the far side, the intended receiver, Willie Miller, and he was hit very hard that time by Maurice Spencer. Spencer already has 2 interceptions this year. And Detroit, this may be the biggest shocker of the day to me.
That's incredible, isn't it? I heard the score earlier. You did too, 31-0. Couldn't believe it.
San Diego under Don Coryell had already beaten Denver. It looks like they were on their way. Now they've lost 2 in a row. That's Detroit's 2nd win of the year. They earlier defeated Tampa Bay. So we come to a 3rd down and 9 from the 21. Here's Pat Hayden. He's already thrown more interceptions than he did all of last year with 9. He had only 6 last year. That was an NFL low. The Rhodes Scholar directing the team. On a 3rd down. He's going up the middle. Ron Jesse. And Jesse's got the first down to the 40-yard line. Clarence Chapman over there. And if there's a more acrobatic receiver than Jesse, I don't know who it is.
They had double coverage on him, too, on the right side. But he got inside, goes underneath. You see Clarence Chapman, number 24, finally making the tackle, but he had a lot of room inside in the zone. They picked it out well and completed it for a nice gain.
Washington losing their second in a row, and the Giants, that's a lot of points to score against the Redskins. That was a 20-yard pickup on the play on the pass completion to the 41 of Los Angeles. Hayden off to McCutcheon. McCutcheon with a flag on the play. He's got a first down, but a flag was thrown just about where that play developed, as he is able to burst it for about 15 yards. But they may be coming back. The preliminary signal is going to be holding against Los Angeles. McCutcheon, one of those guys, there's Gordon McCarter, who's in charge of this. McCutcheon's one of those guys that really probably doesn't get the publicity that he should get, Hank.
You know, he's a very deceptive runner. He doesn't have what you'd call fast feet, and he doesn't look like he's doing much, but he's a very easy strider and swallowed up the yardage. Let's look what happens.
That's Tom Mack, the all-pro guard, 10 times in the Pro Bowl, committing the holding play, and back to the 31. The ball is marked. First down, 20 yards to go. Hayden. He's going to run it. At the 35, the 40, wide open to the 50-yard line, and he's about a yard short of the first down. Boy, I've never seen anything more wide open up the middle.
Well, you know what happened? They were in a triple wing formation that time, and they spread the defense. Everybody got an outside rush. There was a big cavity right up the middle. Pat Hayden saw it, took advantage of it, and just missed the first down by about a yard. Great observation and good reaction on the part of Pat Hayden.
There's nothing wrong with the thinking of this guy. Pat Hayden, very, very intelligent quarterback, a 19-yard pickup just short of the 50-yard line. Hayden goes off to Capoletti, and Capoletti's got the first down to the 47-yard line. You know, the Saints have had a tough time stopping the rush. They come in here 11th, but there has been improvement, I think, as evidenced last week against San Francisco.
Yes, it's obvious that they did a good job last week against the San Francisco 49ers, but I think for them to feel good about the development of the defense, they have to stop a good football team. And that's what I think they feel good about the possibility of doing that today against the Los Angeles Rams.
First down now from the 47. There's Capoletti, Mr. Dependable, reliable fullback for the Rams. Play action, Hayden on the first down. This is McCutcheon. McCutcheon to the 40, to the 39-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down as Clarence Chapman reacting over there. And that's what McCutcheon can do so very, very well, is catch the football. Last year he had 25 grabs. You know, he's had 5 100-yard days and 9 starts against the Saints.
Yeah, he's an incredible back, and he's kind of like an easy rider. You know, he doesn't look like he's doing much, but the next thing you know, they're moving the chains. And he's a very deceptive runner, very good one.
Second down, a pair of yards to go from the 39. Jesse and Miller are wide left and right. Up the middle, Capoletti. And he runs in some stiff opposition. He's not going to get that first down unless he fell forward to get it. Very, very close. Alex Price was in on the stop. They did get the first down. And that's where Capoletti's tough. He's got that good upper body strength, and he just fell forward and got the needed yardage. Capoletti coming in here. Last week caught the longest pass of his career, a 34-yarder against Minnesota. He only had 23 yards in the first game on October 1st against New Orleans. But he is the guy that kind of complements McCutcheon. He picks up the pieces where McCutcheon can't do a job on a particular situation.
And he's a good blocker along with that.
From the 36. Hayden, good protection, now breaks down. Grooms giving chase. And he gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Good pressure put on that time by Grooms, who came barreling through. Eventually, Jim Merlo, the linebacker, rammed him out. And to the 30-yard line, where they're going to be 4 yards short of the first down. And right now, we have Terry Nelson shaken up for the Rams. He's coming off, hobbling, and Charles Young will replace him.
Willie Miller that time was wide open on the left side, but he didn't have a chance to fire the ball to him. They had to run out of the pocket. Charlie Young, number 86, comes in and replaces Nelson, number 83.
Not too bad to have a backup tight end like Charles Young.
Oh, that's a beautiful situation.
Second down, 4 yards to go from the 30. McCutcheon again, and he puts it across the 25. Boy, he hit him there quickly. He's to the 23, a first down, and you see the quickness. McCutcheon will tell you that he can run the first 40 yards as fast as anybody.
Listen, look at the block there by Doug France, number 77, does a great job on Campbell, along with Tom Mack, number 65, the left guard. The center, Rich Saul, also does a good job, but they blow him off the line of scrimmage and provide a good running room there for the back.
Boy, that left side is big. You have France, who weighs 288 pounds, Mack at 245, Saul, the center, weighs 243. And they control that one.
In the triple wing formation again, which they've done quite a bit on first down.
On the first down, Hayden far side to Willie Miller. Miller trying to go wide, and he's not going to make it. Pat Hughes is over there. Hughes reacted very well to Willie Miller, who came in here with 27 catches for the year. That is third best in the NFC.
You know, that's a hard play to run against Pat Hughes. He reacts to what he sees extremely well. Good quickness, good response, and played that just like you're supposed to play it on a quick screen. The other thing about the play was that Hayden threw the ball so high that he didn't have a chance to catch it in stride and make the kind of progress upfield that he normally would have been able to make.
We have another injury for the Rams. Dennis Hara, the right side guard, is out of there, and Doug Smith has replaced him, number 56. Two men shaken up on this drive. McCutcheon. And that time Price made the stop for the Saints. Alex Price, sixth-year man from Alcorn State, who has 4 sacks. Man who's led him in about every defensive category. There is Hayden's statistics. This young man last year had 106 passes one time consecutively without an interception. He has been pinpoint in his passing. He's been criticized him for not being big enough, but he always comes back and beats you.
And he's already run twice for 25 yards in this game.
Understand Hara injured his left leg, so he's out of the lineup now at right offensive guard. 3rd and 9. Hayden, nice defensive play by Chapman on Ron Jesse. Chapman, he made a play like that last week in San Francisco.
Yes, he did. Flag downfield.
Is this a baseball score? Look at that. Buffalo over Cincinnati. Cincinnati and St. Louis both still looking for the first win. We have a flag, as you mentioned, and it's going to go against the Saints. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. Let's listen now. Personal foul, that's against Pat Hughes, and that comes at a very inopportune time for New Orleans. They had him look like back up. Now instead it's a first down at the 11-yard line. Capoletti, McCutcheon, the running backs behind Hayden. No score. 3:49 to go in the first quarter. This is McCutcheon. And coming over there and trying to take his head off was Tommy Myers. And then he was dropped inside the 10-yard line. Myers came flying through the air on that play. Ray Brown eventually made the tackle. Bring up a second down. Can get a new series of 1st and goal at the 1. McCutcheon at 6'1", 205 out of Plainview, Texas. One of 10 children in his family. Went to Colorado State. Boy, what a career he had there. He's been indestructible prior to this year. First real injury he's had. Here's McCutcheon again. And he's inside the 5. McCutcheon landing inside the 5 before Price again along with Clarence Chapman over to make the tackle on the play, and it brings up a 3rd down and still a couple of yards to go for another 1st and goal.
Hayden did a good job that time. He went on a quick count. They got the Saints before they were actually anchored and ready. They went on a quick count and caught him before they were ready to respond and pick up a nice gain on a sweep to the right side. Good blocking at the point of attack by John Williams.
They take out Miller and Jesse, bring in Jackie Slater and Charles Young, acting as 2 tight ends on this short yardage situation. 3rd down, 2 to go for 1st and goal. McCutcheon, he's very close to that 1-yard line. They're going to have to measure, it looks like, to see if he did in fact make it. So they'll bring the sticks in. They need to get just about on top of the 1-yard line to get the 1st and goal. Pat Hughes and Joe Fettersfield combining on the stop. This what you worry about on the Rams situation, Hank, is they just hold on to that football, keep coming at you, the ball control.
Yeah, they're big and they're strong, and they like to stuff it at you, and they're big enough to control the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're doing in this situation right now. It looks like they might be just a fraction short of the first down.
Boy, you can see how close they are. So some decisions are going to have to be made now by Ray Malavasi, the coach who took over in the second game of the preseason for George Allen. The injury situation update on him. Hara will be back with a leg injury. Nelson also has been back in on the previous play. Both of them with some leg injuries, but not that severe. As now we come to a fourth down and just a matter of inches outside the 1-yard line. Up to Capoletti. Oh, it's tough in there. It looks like he may have the first and goal, though. Boy, it shows you how tough the sledding was as the former Penn State Heisman Trophy winner had it tough up the middle.
He went right up the middle and dove over the top. It looked like he made enough for the first down, but it's hard to tell. You won't know until they mark it.
Well, it's a gritty defensive core, this New Orleans club. They're making them work for it. See if they got it. Very hard to tell from our vantage point.
I'd be surprised if they don't or didn't get it, but they might not have. I don't know.
I don't know. They didn't get it.
My gosh, they didn't.
In fact, I think they lost on that play. Wasn't as close on that measurement as the previous one, and that's some goal line stand by the Saints.
Excellent defensive stand by the New Orleans Saints.
3 inches short. That's what we'll guess from here. So there's timeout on the field with 2:06 to go in this first quarter. We come back. The Saints will have it at the 1.
Blizzard Sock City, Storm Malls Midwest. Get ready for it again during Sears' big National Snow Tire Sale. Save on 4-ply snow tires. Save on belted snow tires. Even Sears' Best Road Handler ice and snow radials. Great snow tires at great preseason prices. Now for a limited time, you can save from 12 to 20%. Don't get stuck without snow tires this winter. Get them now at Sears.
Linda Lavin, Christy McNichol, Max Gale, and Patrick O'Neill.
I want to know where he's sleeping tonight. He's sleeping in the living room.
Like Mom, Like Me, the Sunday movie at 9, East Central and Mountain.
With Hank Stram, I'm Gary Bender. That last drive took 8 minutes and 18 seconds, and it ended up at the 1.5-yard line. The Saints with a valiant goal line stand. They have the football.
There's a double tight end situation here. They're going to try to run it out of there with double tight. They don't succeed in getting much. Tony Gabbert got about 2 yards, maybe a yard and a half, 2 yards in a play. Larry Brooks again, number 90. He makes the tackle.
Boy, he is going to be heard of a lot before the afternoon's over. Hank, I guess you're tempted in these situations. Play action, fire out of that end zone, aren't you?
You really are, because down here it's tough to blow it out of there and make the necessary yardage, and yet if you throw some kind of a play action pass, it's a good chance to get something deep and get out of the danger area.
So they pick up a fair yard. Second down and 8. Anybody could do that. It would be Archie Manning.
They're double tight again.
You can see jumping around that secondary. Phil Simpson to give up to Muncy. And Muncy gets it out of there. First down, out across the 15 to the 17. We talked about the quickness of McCutcheon. I tell you, Muncy's no slouch himself.
I tell you, J.C. Taylor, number 71, the left tackle, and Sturt, the left guard, did a good job of blocking along with a tight end on that side. Chuck Muncy does a good job of running through the cavity, but it's a nice game. Good execution on the play. Rod Perry, number 49, made the tackle.
Muncy came back last week, gained 55 yards after missing 3 games because of knee ligament damage. And when he comes back, it's a different football team.
They're back to their normal setup now with a split end and same time.
It's to give to Galbraith a penalty on the play, and Galbraith is 22, and here comes another flag out. So it looks like we have 2 infractions on this particular play. You've got Galbraith and Muncy. You have a double threat back there. They can catch the ball on passes. They can go wide. They can hit up the middle. That's called versatility.
And the other nice thing about him is they can, make the big play anytime they get their hands on the ball, either by a reception.
Number 89, defense. Holding. Number 68, offense. The plays are nullified.
Offsetting penalties. That was Dreyer who was off. Number 89. Big 6'6" right defensive end for the Rams, so we'll do it all over again.
The one thing that you have to do against the Rams, you really have to control those defensive ends because they do such a great job of rushing the passer. You've got to run at them and keep them on the line of scrimmage because they pursue and react so well that it's best to run at them.
This first quarter really wheeling by. We have only 36 seconds remaining in it. As you see the down and distance, the line of scrimmage, the 16. Manning giving off to Muncy. Gets away for a moment, and then Jim Youngblood had enough power behind that tackle to drop him. But had he gotten by Youngblood, it looked like he had some running room over there.
Yeah, but he didn't. Youngblood was out there in good
It,
shape.
right?
Yeah, he had no chance on that because he really got up the field in good shape, good penetration. It was like fighting City Hall there. He had no chance to make anything on that play.
So, 10 seconds. That may be the last play of this first quarter as they lose yardage back inside the 15. 2nd and 13 coming up. I don't believe they're going to get this play off, and they will not. So there's the first quarter completed at the Los Angeles Coliseum. A big story thus far. The Saints with a goal line stand at the 1-yard line. Now trying to get it out of that very precarious field position. Quarter number 2 coming up.
Uh-oh. That TV show we want to watch goes on in 5 minutes.
America, stop rushing your life away just to catch a TV show. Get a Sony Betamax video recorder and automatically videotape that show while you're doing something else and watch it anytime you want. Sony Betamax. It could change your whole way of life.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Dad, when are we going to get to Grandma's?
Dad, are we going to get to Grandma's?
Darn, I forgot to put in Prestone.
Take out the O, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone, Prestone 2.
Protect against freeze-ups and corrosion. Take out old, weak antifreeze and put in America's most trusted antifreeze, Prestone 2.
Take out the O, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone, Prestone 2.
And when you flush your cooling system, use Prestone Super Flush.
Second quarter ready to go. 2nd and 13 now for the Saints. No score through the first 15 minutes. You know, in 8 games this year, the Rams have allowed a total of 10 points in that first quarter.
Let's see if they work on Brzezinski again. Sweet.
There's Chuck Muncy. Got a block out in front of him by Lafari, but nothing develops. They strung it out very well. The pulling guard on that play, Lafari, was out ahead of him, but Brzezinski came up and played it very well.
Emmendorf also here. You see Chuck Muncy running left. You see Lafari out in front. You see Henry Childs doing a good job on the linebacker. But Brzezinski finally comes off of that block on Childs and makes the great play. But that's what he does so well. He reacts terrifically well against the run.
Well, he's starting in place of Isaiah Robertson, and there's been a lot of controversy about that. We'll talk about that as this game wears on. 5 defensive backs in now for the Rams on this 3rd down and 10, and they try to cross him up the middle, and they didn't fool anybody. There is Isaiah Robertson. He walked out of camp Friday, came back, talked with Coach Ray Malavese, decided to come back, and he's playing behind Brzezinski, and he's not happy about it.
Larry Brooks, number 90, made that play.
Robertson an all-pro, but Brzezinski, a second-year man from Ohio State, should be in the near future. This is Tom Blanchard, number 16, who'll be booting. His first kick was 56 yards. And Jackie Wallace goes back deep. You can see Brooks moving around on that ram forward wall. Blanchard hits another beauty. Boy, he has really kicked the football this year. Here's Wallace. Wallace to the 40, fumbles the ball. Who's got it?
Saints have it, it looks like.
The Saints have picked up the football at the Ram 45-yard line. And, Hank, when you're an underdog and you make a goal line stand, you get a turnover like this, you can start smelling something.
It's very inspiring, and I think this... Watch, here's Jackie Wallace. He runs with a lot of indecision. He doesn't make up his mind on what he's going to do. The ball is held very loosely, is jarred loose. The Saints have possession, 1st and 10. Mark Meserol, that time, made the play.
He's that free agent they picked up this year. It's seen a lot of playing time.
See if they throw on 1st down here.
On the 45, they give to Galbraith instead. They try to test that side, and Brzezinski is equal to it. Is the ball loose or not? No. It's blown dead. The ball is still in possession of New Orleans. Crowd not liking that at all, but they're testing Brzezinski, and right now he's tough.
Well, they're testing Brzezinski, and of course the other guy that I think you feel you have to run against is Dreyer, their right end. You know, Dreyer is not overly large. He's got good range, great quickness, but he rushes the passer very well, but doesn't respond as well to the run. And I think they're trying to give him some business over there, but so far they haven't really succeeded in doing much.
They lost 3, 2nd and 13 now. You could see on that replay it was close when Galbraith went down with the ball blown dead. Manning, far side, and it's complete to Tinker Owens. And Owens with his 20th catch of the year. Boy, he started out this year in sensational style and then had a lot of injury problems.
A very high percentage play. Archie throws left to Tinker Owens. It's a square out pattern, right on target, knocked out of bounds by Rod Perry, number 49.
We have a man shaken up for the Saints at the 48-yard line. That looks like J.T. Taylor. Boy, they just have not had any luck at all in that offensive line. They've already lost Conrad Dobler, Emmanuel Sanders, John Watson. Taylor's been playing with leg problems. He was hurt last week in San Francisco. So we have a timeout, 0-0 our score.
It was a long, hard run, but I finally won. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find
The premium taste of Pabst. It's a lot to look forward to.
I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
I'm not gambling with my safety this winter. I just put a CB from Radio Shack in my car. At only $89, I save $60. Now, wherever I drive in any kind of weather, I feel safe. This switch is my instant shortcut to Emergency Channel 9. One of 11 front panel features. Sale-priced realistic CB. I wouldn't drive without it. Now just $89. Only at Radio Shack, a candy company.
Well, the NBA is underway, and it'll return on CBS next Friday night with the world champion Washington Bullets, who have won their first 3 games of the year, going against Golden State, and Milwaukee taking on Seattle. And Seattle, without Marvin Webster, has won 5 in a row. It's coming up Friday. Back to throw. Archie Manning, Galbraith. Good defensive coverage that time by Youngblood. Boy, he was with him as close as you can stay.
Yes, that time they tried to match Tony Galbraith with Youngblood, 53, but he played it very well, and Archie had to throw it way over the top and fell incomplete.
Galbraith, by the way, leading the NFL in receiving with 40 catches, despite the fact he didn't catch one last week. So it's 4th down, Blanchard to kick, and you see Jackie Wallace waiting for the punt. Wallace coming in here is 2nd in the NFC with a 14.1 average in punt returns. He's trying to kick it away, and that's going to be a good kick. It goes out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. So he was going for the corner, and he got it. So from the 12-yard line, the Rams will take over. We have no score with 12:20 to go before halftime.
Since 1903, there have been more than 2,500 new cars introduced in America. But the best-selling new car ever introduced was this one, Ford Fairmont. Presenting Fairmont 79, again with lots of room for the money, with a great EPA mileage estimate for today's driving, with a range of sticker prices that are surprisingly low. From sedans to wagons to exciting Futura, the best-selling new car ever introduced, Ford Fairmont. Test drive America's success car at your local Ford dealer.
I'll have a natural.
You know, the term natural is an appropriate simplification for Anheuser-Busch Natural Light.
Sure, because it's simpler.
No, because natural, smooth, clean taste results from natural ingredients and slow natural aging.
You know, you're very observatory.
Here's perfection in the art of brewing, a cultural trait dating back some 8,000 years.
Obliviously, you're a man of extinction and dignity.
Oh, yeah. Hey, mama. Have a natural.
The Embraceable Youths, cheerleaders here for the Los Angeles Rams on this beautiful day in Southern California. From the 12-yard line, first down. Pat Hayden going to throw. Look out. Grooms is after him. And Hayden gets down at the 17, and Alois Grooms almost got to him at about the 5-yard line.
There was a play-action pass that time, but he's got a good feel for pressure, Pat has. You know, there was pressure on the outside by Grooms, but he snuck inside and ran right up the middle again like he has on several other occasions and picked up a nice chunk on first down of 5 yards. Now it's 2nd and 5.
You know, as pointed out by director Bob Daly, it reminds you a lot of Fran Tarkenton, the way he goes sliding. Gets out underneath the guys, avoids the big shot.
Well, it's very obvious he's not going to try to challenge anybody with a shoulder pads, and that's very smart.
2nd and 5, quick pitch to McCutcheon. That play's not going anywhere. Good reaction by Ray Brown, the strong safety who came flying up there. You know, the Ram offense, we haven't said a lot about them. They're 2nd overall. Rushing, they're 6th. In the 2 previous years, they've been number 1 and 2 in the NFC. Under Chuck Knox, they were criticized a lot, Hank, because they didn't throw more. They ran all the time.
Well, it's hard to understand how you criticize winning, and that's all they did. They won consistently and were in the playoffs, and it wasn't because they ran that they didn't succeed in going all the way.
The Rams win the division title, and it looks good for them. They'd be their 6th straight, and that would tie an NFL record. 3rd down and 6. They lost a yard on that last play. Hayden, and, well, the intended receiver is Nelson, but Merlo was closest to the football.
It looked like Nelson gave up on the pattern. He was coming across, and I think he saw Merlo dropping back there, and as a result stopped, but the ball was thrown out in front. As a result, fell incomplete. Luckily, it wasn't intercepted.
So Glenn Walker will come in and kick the football for the Rams, and Wes Chandler will be going back for the New Orleans Saints. Chandler on punts is averaging 7.4. That's 12th in the NFC. Walker, on the other hand, in kicking the football, is 11th in the conference with a 38-yard average. Got a good one on this time. At the 35, Chandler. And what reaction by Nolan Cromwell. Nolan Cromwell, the former quarterback for the University of Kansas, and he can fly, got down there, made the stop, and that's where the Saints will set it up at the 10:40 mark.
Now, some of the best movies on television aren't on television. They're on Select-O-Vision, the 4-hour video cassette recorder from RCA. Because now you can buy full-length uncut movies on cassettes. Movies like Pat and Hello, Dolly, and lots more. With Select-O-Vision, you can go to the movies at your house.
Buy now during the RCA Film Festival and get 2 free movies and discount coupons for 5 more.
Hey, nice. Where'd you get it?
Avis Rent-A-Car.
Avis introduces rent-a-cars you wish you owned, like the Chevy Caprice,
I think I'll park it myself.
the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, the Olds Cutlass, Buick Regal, the Pontiac Grand Prix. Rent-a-cars you wish you owned. Avis now features GM cars.
Avis, we don't know another way.
That was a 49-yard kick, but more importantly, the hang time was excellent.
4.7 hang time. Remarkable.
Glenn Walker, so from the 35-yard line.
Let's see if they run a play-action pass on Brzezinski. They've got to do this some on first down. They haven't done it yet. Mike Strawn is in at left halfback for Chuck Muncie.
And J.T. Taylor's back at offensive tackle. This is Tony Galbraith just short of the 40-yard line. Galbraith hitting off the left-hand side. The middle linebacker, Jack Reynolds, over there to make the stop. And so it's going to bring up second down and still 7 yards to go. The Saints this year have been averaging about 33 passes a game until last week, and they threw only 4, but they had a chopped-up offensive line, and they had the currents of Candlestick Park blowing around, but they're not opening up that much yet. Second down, a long 6. Manning picked off. No! Pat Thomas had it and couldn't hang on. He already has 3 interceptions this year.
Play action pass, faking to Mike Strawn. And he runs outside. It looks like Childs is wide open, but Thomas comes from the outside in. They're in a nickel defense with 5 defensive backs coming in right now. And really made a great play.
There's a surprise. Cleveland, after losing that tough one last week to Pittsburgh, getting beaten by the Chiefs. 17-3. Third down now. 6 yards to go. Up the middle to Mike Strawn, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they continue to play it pretty close to the vest.
Yes, they do. I really don't know for sure. Archie was hurting last week with some bad ribs, and I don't know whether he's totally well or not. And maybe that's the reason they're playing as conservatively as they are. But normally, you don't see him call plays like he is today.
So Blanchard, look what he's done thus far. Not too shabby. On one of those, he was kicking for placement. A 33-yarder that went out of bounds, or his average would be even higher. He's had a 56 and a 50-yarder.
I tell you one thing, if I were the Ram coaching staff, I'd really sweat with Jackie Wallace back there in that deep position.
Low snap. Blanchard gets it away. Wallace at the 22. 30. He's out to the 40, and he's almost to the 45-yard line. So Los Angeles will have some good field position when they get the football. With 9 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in this first half. Brooks Williams making the stop on Jackie Wallace.
From the Sierras to the Smokies, people are discovering what makes the great outdoors great.
Beer makes it good.
It's just one Schlitz.
There's no debate.
Nothing else comes near.
Beer makes it good.
When you're out of Schlitz.
Schlitz makes it great.
You're out of beer.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz. Every drop show-lagered for quality since 1849.
Schlitz makes it like no other good. Schlitz makes it great.
Introducing the new Ford Pinto for $79. A new design for a little American workhorse. New up here, new back here, new in here, and a parade of new design Pintos to choose from. The new Pinto ESS, a new cruising wagon, a new Pinto Squire, a new cruising sedan, and a new Pinto wagon. So join the band. See all these new design 79 Ford Pintos, a little American workhorse, at your Ford dealer.
NFL action begins next Sunday with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Rams have the football just short of the 45. A 23-yard return by Jackie Wallace. There's only a 36-yard kick, and wait a minute. All kinds of movement on that line. And it looks like the Rams are the guilty party, and they're going to move back. Rams right now, Hank, have been making a lot of little mistakes. Not as sharp as maybe they would like to be. Dwight Scales.
Scales, 87, is in the game, and also Billy Waddy, number 80, is at the flanker position.
Let's listen now.
Ball start. Number 75, offense. First down.
That's John Williams, 11-year veteran. That right offensive tackle spot. First and 15. As you mentioned, Waddy and Scales in. Waddy's been out 5 games with a broken rib. Here's Hayden back. Complete to Capoletti. But nothing develops at all. Hayden now has hit 4 of 6 passes. He's rushed for as much yardage as he's passed for thus far. That was Grooms and Price combining on the stop. And from the 38-yard line, it's still going to be long yardage to go. They lose about a yard.
There was another illustration. The pass was thrown very poorly to Capoletti. It was a shoestring catch, and as a result, anytime you throw it any place but at the number, it's very difficult for the back to readjust and get upfield and make the yardage that he's supposed to make.
You saw it, 2nd and 17. Hayden, protection is there. And Dwight Scales has it picked off. This is Ray Brown. Brown to the 50-yard line. He's to the 45 and Brown to the 41 as Dwight Scales went up. Looked like he had the ball for a moment, and very alertly Ray Brown came away with it.
It was a remarkable interception. He was open underneath. The safety man, Brown, plays very close to the line of scrimmage. See, he's coming back from his shallow position. He caught it on the flip. Does a good job of reacting. Billy Waddy, number 80, finally makes the tackle.
There's no score. The Saints have the football.
They came from every state in America, by car, by bus, some even on foot. The roads backed up for over 50 miles. The crowds didn't deter them, nor the mud, the rain, the discomfort, because for the nearly 500,000 people who came here on August 9th, 1969, only one thing mattered: music.
Freedom, 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 freedom.
At Pioneer, we understand how much music means to people. So we design our high-fidelity components not to add anything nor take anything away, but to recreate all the excitement of a live performance. That's what's made us #1 today with people who care about music. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
So the interception by Ray Brown, returned for 19 yards to the 41.
There's a play-action pass.
Manning, to Strawn. The ball is incomplete. Ruled incomplete. And again, the crowd not too happy about that decision. Boy, what a hit that time, put on by Pat Thomas. I don't know. It looked like he may have had that ball. Eh?
Yeah, that was a very bad call. It was a fumble. Mike caught the ball and was hit and dropped the ball, and they declared it a incompleted forward pass. It was a bad call.
From the 41 now, 2nd down. Ike Harris to the bottom of the screen. Manning stepping up. And down he goes. At the 48-yard line, that's Larry Brooks, and that'll be his 5th sack of the year. He comes pounding up. That's 20 sacks for the year for this Los Angeles Ram team. You know, the Saints have protected pretty well. They had given up 16 sacks coming into this game. And, you know, you mentioned you wondered if Manning was hurt. He's not moving around like I've seen him move around.
No, it looks like there's a little indecision, and I really think he must be hurting a little bit because he doesn't look nearly as crisp and as sharp as he has the last few times we saw him.
3rd down. There's on that's complete to Henry Childs. Boy, he looked crisp on that one, didn't he? And a flag on the play. I think they may have tackled a face mask. Let's see.
Beautiful throw that time by Archie, right on the numbers to Henry Childs.
That's what it was. It looked like Brodzinski had reached in on Childs. Let's see.
Here you see it. It's hard to tell. Now it comes. There it is. Brodzinski. 23-yard pass reception. Beautifully designed play and a well executed. Archie Manning to Henry Childs.
Number 59 defense. 1st down.
So where the ball is going to end up now is at the 20-yard line. And that ball by Manning looked like the Manning we've seen earlier this year. He threw that on a line, perfectly thrown. Childs coming away with it. 23-yard pass completion, a 5-yard penalty, moves the ball to the 20.
Muncie is in the game now at halfback.
Manning gives off to Muncie, and Muncie got maybe a yard or two. Jack Reynolds, Hacksaw as they call him, the middle linebacker, making the stop for the Los Angeles Rams. So it's going to be second down and still 8 yards to go. And Minnesota leading Green Bay. And that is a big game in that NFC Central Division. Minnesota, they lose that one. I know Bud Grant said it's the most important game of the year for us. Would have really been a bad shape. There's Dick Nolan. His team now with a second. Let's make it a long 8, almost 9 yards to go. Little delay, and it didn't fool anybody. Cody Jones in particular, as Muncie couldn't go anywhere. So it comes to a third down. Kevin Hunt now comes onto the field in an offensive line position. Taylor checks out, and Taylor's limping again. Taylor is just all banged up, but he's trying to play that left offensive tackle spot. Hunt, a former Houston Oiler, comes in for it. 5 defensive backs now as Reynolds, 64, goes off the field, and Nolan Cromwell replaces him. Third down, virtually 10 yards to go. Steve Nickemeyer, he would be called on if they don't get it here. 6:09 to go before halftime. No score.
Wes Chandler's in the game, too.
Here's Muncie trying to cut it back. He picks up 5, but that's 5 short of the first down as Youngblood drops him. And now we come in with Steve Nickemeyer. And what a story it's been this year for the Saints as far as field goal kickers are concerned. This is the 5th man, or the 5th change they made. Nickemeyer was re-signed this week. 2 weeks ago they had him, and he hurt his back in a practice, and so they couldn't use him as a kicker. And last week they had Tom Urey kick instead, and he had a miserable afternoon. And Nickemeyer, who last year kicked for the Lions, will be kicking, or attempting to kick, a 32-yard field goal. Tom Blanchard to hold. Nickemeyer's kick is on the way, and he got it. And the New Orleans Saints, at the 5:18 mark of the second quarter play, have taken a 3-0 lead on a 32-yard field goal by Nickemeyer.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes, all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
You mean Anheuser-Busch Natural Light?
Just say natural.
You see, you doesn't have to call it Anheuser-Busch Natural Light, and you doesn't have to call it Anheuser Natural, and you doesn't have to call it Busch Natural. Just say natural.
Johnson's right.
Oh, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can...
For a great-tasting light beer, just say natural.
But you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
2 naturals, please. Please don't ask him his name.
Name? You can call me Ray, or you can call me...
Next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, NBA action returns to CBS for the 1978-79 championship season. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, after the interception by Ray Brown, they pick up 3 points as this young man, Nickemeyer, his first field goal of the 1978 season. Kicking off now. Deep man is Jerry Latin, and Latin will bring it out to the 10, to the 20, a flag on the play, and Latin is out to the 35, 37-yard line. But a flag was thrown way behind where Latin was running. Jerry Latin, who the Rams picked up from the St. Louis Cardinals for a draft choice. Ron Crosby making the stop. We have a clip. Let's see if we can pick it up.
63, I think. There's a shot. There's a shot of the clip. Barry Bennett, number 63, was clipped on the play by Osteen. Rams have possession, 1st and 10 on about the 14-yard line.
Personal foul, clipping, number 33 during the return. First down.
Probably haven't heard a lot about Osteen. He's a free agent. They re-signed him when Eddie Brown was hurt out of San Jose State. They're very high on him, though. But that time, he's guilty of the clip. There he is, number 33. You know how he must feel. It's up from the 14-yard line now. Pat Hayden giving off, and good reaction that time. First, Derlin Moore was in there, and then Don Reese, who's back in the ball game, reacted on the play, and they didn't pick up anything on the play. Reese last week played very well. He had a sack in the game against the 49ers. Second down. The White Scales and Billy Waddy now have come in at wide receivers for Los Angeles. Matt Hayden having a tough time getting this offense on track. On a 2nd and 10, he gives up the middle to McCutcheon, and McCutcheon out across the 15. Giving the 16-yard line. Derlin Moore again making the tackle. Oh, that Moore's quite a story. Hurts one knee, then he turns around and hurts the other, but he's still playing football.
Well, the unusual thing about it is the fact that he had an operation in training camp and responded well enough from the operation and is back in playing very well here at the defensive right tackle position for the Saints.
Gain of 1. Let's make it 2. 3rd down, 8. Hayden inside the 10-yard line. He's a flag on the play. He's going to run. Pat Hughes is there, and Hughes drags him down. He's got the first down, but a flag on the play. Pat Hughes, boy, that was a one-on-one isolation out there.
You know, and Pat Hayden did a good job there. He was very close to making the first down, but he put his shoulder down and got the necessary yardage and ran through there. Pat Hughes made a very good open field tackle.
But they're going to bring it back. That penalty against Los Angeles. 9-yard pickup on the play. Here's the score in the second quarter. Seattle is leading Oakland. I don't believe today, do you? 14-0. One upset after another.
Holding, number 75, offense. Repeat the down.
That's
3.
John Williams. Rams already, Hank, 6 penalties in this game for 62 yards. So they've been their own worst enemy. The ball at the 8-yard line. It's 3rd down now. 16 yards to go. And Los Angeles, unbeaten, not playing like an unbeaten team right now. You got to give some credit to New Orleans. The Rams are not hitting on all the cylinders. Hayden back. Wide open. Beautiful play over the middle. Making the catch, Billy Waddy. Clarence Chapman made the stop. First down, Los Angeles.
Boy, he threw that ball right on the money, and this is a great illustration of how important. They had a stunt that time. Protection was good. He threw the ball right in the heart of the defense, in the middle area where there's a big hole. Right at the numbers, Billy Waddy makes the reception. It's good for 22 yards and a first down.
Well, it's been a long time in coming for Waddy. Out for 5 games. That's his 5th catch of the year. He may be the fastest player on this Ram team.
They've got to throw the ball more on first down. They haven't done real well running the ball.
Well, they go back to the run. Campbelletti, and Campbelletti trying to go outside. Pat Hughes wrestles him down. And the Saints have been surprisingly tough against the run here today. They were last week. That flex defense that Dick Nolan has been force-feeding this team, maybe starting to pay some dividends. Gain on the play of very little. Bring up 2nd down, and still 8 yards to go. Dick Nolan, 1970, the NFC Coach of the Year when coaching the San Francisco 49ers. Let's make it 2nd and 7 then, as Hayden back. Wide open, all by himself is Waddy. And he's very close. Hayden on the first down. He's got the protection. Wide open. Scales. You know, if that ball hadn't hung up a little bit, he may have gone all the way.
Yes, he did. He let Clarence Murray Spencer that time. He was wide open. But he went back in the pocket. They had a blitz on that time. It was 1-for-1 coverage. He's way behind, but the ball didn't get there. He had to wait for it. He made the reception, and, of course, Murray Spencer finally made the tackle. But they're now on the 21-yard line, 1st and 10.
30-yard play. You can see Hayden just shaking his head as the 2-minute warning is here. He knew that that ball, had it been thrown, a little more velocity on it, would have set Scales up for 6 points. Instead, it's a 30-yard pass completion. And, Hank, all of a sudden now the Rams are getting people wide open in that secondary.
Well, the one thing, you know, they threw on first down that time, and the thing they have to do, as I alluded to a minute ago, they have to throw more on first down because they haven't done real well of running the ball on first.
This fresh egg is going to help us sell this brand new Free Flex shoe from Freeman. Watch. You can do it with any new Freeman Free Flex. See Freeman shoes at fine stores everywhere.
Inspector, I have the clues.
You have the clues?
Meet me in a silver Mercedes outside.
Mercedes.
79 Ford Granada, an American classic, sometimes confused with a Mercedes.
Inspector, where are you?
I'm in the car.
I'm in the car.
You in the car?
Are you sure you're in a Mercedes?
Oh. One good way to tell Granada is by its sticker price.
Ah, that's a Granada, you fool!
Of course, I can see that.
The 2-minute warning has been executed here as we just had a 30-yard pass completion from Pat Hayden to Dwight Scales. The Rams trailing 3-0. The ball at the 22. Hayden 7 of 10 for 93 yards and end around to Billy Waddy. Look at him move. And Waddy has another first down to the 10-yard line. You can see how the Rams have missed this young man.
Yes. But they fake the play action to the right. And, of course, here comes Waddy around the outside. France out in front does a good job of blocking on Brown. 27, he cuts inside, does a good job of running, and is finally tackled from the inside out after he makes the necessary yardage for the first down.
Waddy did play a running back spot a couple of years at Colorado. Hayden back to throw on first down. And I don't know what happened on that one. Looks like somebody deflected the pass. Almost up for grabs.
Yes, it was. It was deflected. I don't know who deflected it, but it was deflected and looked like it was going to be intercepted because it went right into a group of players of the Saints.
Well, Waddy was coming back over the middle. Looked like he might be the intended receiver, but the ball just never got there. There's your time. You see it in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. Dwight Scales now comes in. And Willie Miller has checked out for the Rams. Second down 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Hayden on a quarterback sneak. And he's inside the 5. He lost his footing, or he might have gone further. Jim Merlo over there. Boy, that was a surprise.
That was a quarterback draw. It was designed play. The Saints are in an even spacing. They're playing very loose. He goes back into the pocket. It's just a plain, simple draw play with a quarterback running the ball. The official got in his way a little bit. He wanted to cut to his left, but he tripped and fell, and he's down to about the 2-yard line or 3-yard line.
Well, you could see he tried to crawl forward. He got quite a block on that draw by Doug Smith, the right offensive guard who's playing in place of Hara. Hara, by the way, has a sprained ankle. He had x-rays taken and no break, and he's on the sideline. So Hayden will come over and visit with the brain trust of the Rams as he has the ball on the 3-yard line, third down, and 1:11 left in this first half of play.
You know, the little rascal has run 4 times for 37 yards so far in this game.
Tomorrow night on CBS, what a lineup coming your way. Concerned citizens is what they want, but weirdos is what they get when WKRP in Cincinnati issues the call. Enjoy this hot new comedy tomorrow night, followed by People with Phyllis George and her new show. She'll spotlight Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, the Electric Light Orchestra, superstar Diana Ross, Paul Newman, and others. And then also to be followed by MASH, One Day at a Time, and Lou Grant. Round out tomorrow night's top television lineup right here on CBS.
Final, Dallas 14, Philadelphia 7.
Tell you, Dallas has had to fight for everything they can get this year. Last week winning in overtime against St. Louis. The Eagles even out at 4-4, and the Eagles are still in the running.
Hayden's the leading rusher in the game so far. That's unusual.
Jackie Slater is in. Charles Young is in. Third down from the 3. Play action by Hayden. Broken up. Coming through in a hurry was Don Reese. Reese got his hands up at 6'6" and batted it down, and now you come to a 4th down.
Yes, and Pat Hughes almost wound up with the interception.
That was an interesting call.
Well, it was a play action, but they responded well to it. They were going to try to hit their tight end, but they responded well to it, which you have to give the Saints a lot of credit. Here's Reese jumping up and deflecting the ball, but the tight end was covered on the play. No chance for it to be a reception, and now they're going to try a field goal.
Frank Correll is going to try to tie this game up. This will be a 20-yard attempt. Nolan Cromwell to hold. Correll is 11 of 18. He is number 1 in the NFC in scoring. Correll's kick is on the way, and it's all tied up. 3-3 with 1 minute, 4 seconds left in this first half of play. So the Saints stopped them once on the 1-yard line on downs. They stopped them on the 3-yard line, making the Rams settle for 3 points. As an end result, we're deadlocked at 3 apiece. Let's look ahead now to next Sunday, Hank. You and I will be in Philadelphia for that St. Louis Eagles game, and the Eagles have really proved they're for real. San Francisco against Washington, who's lost 2 in a row. Detroit, Chicago, that'll be a real bloodbath after Detroit winning today. And then other regional games finds the New York Giants going against the Saints, and Tampa Bay with a surprising performance today against Green Bay, who is losing to Minnesota. Be sure now to consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. And also, all the action begins with the Emmy-winning show NFL Today with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Herb Cross. That's next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. So Corral will kick off. Wes Chandler back at the goal line. 3-3, and I'm sure this surprises a lot of people to be hearing this score throughout the country as we come to the close of this first half.
Let's see if he kicks it downfield to Chandler, takes a chance, or whether he tries to squib it so they don't get a good balanced return on the play.
Pat Corral, the rookie from UCLA, he gets it all. Bringing it out is Clarence Chapman, and Chapman is out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. And there's 59 seconds left in this first half. We'll be keeping you posted on what's happened throughout the NFL as we'll be joining the NFL today. And I'll tell you, today may be the day of upsets. Every time Hank and I picked up the score here, we just shook our heads.
Clarence Chapman, you know, returned that kick, and last year he ran 92 yards for a touchdown on the kickoff return against the San Francisco 49ers, so he's got very good speed and probably is as fast as anybody on the team.
Well, let's see what the Saints do with the remaining 59 seconds. From the 23-yard line, Galbraith, Muncie, the running back. And they're just going to play it very conservatively as Galbraith doesn't find any running room. And it'll bring up second down. Jack Youngblood making the stop. Los Angeles in this first half losing a couple of opportunities to go in for touchdowns, and they've ended up with 3 points thus far. They've thrown the interception. They fumbled on a return. And so they have not really been playing the game. Bob Brzezinski was over there. This has been a precarious situation the last minute for the Saints. And so with the timeout, we come to a fourth down. The Saints don't want to give up the football, and they may not kick it, Hank. They might just try to bounce on it here with the 4 seconds.
4 seconds, yeah.
At halftime, again, just a reminder, we'll join Brent, Jane, and Irv, the NFL Today. They'll update all those games that have been played and completed back east. Some of the highlights. Always fun to see what's happened at the halftime break. And according to the scores we've seen, there's a lot of explanation has to be made. Well, it looks like they may go through the motions of kicking this ball. Let's see. They've got Blanchard going back. He's probably just going to, are they going to snap it that deep and take a chance?
I'm surprised if they do with 4 seconds left, but evidently they are.
Here's the snap. Here's the rush. He got it underway.
They roughed the kicker.
They sure did, and you cannot complete a half a play on a defensive foul. So the Saints will have another play. Isn't that something? Now, I'm surprised, Hank, they kicked it to start with.
Yeah, I am too. Very surprised because it's only 4 seconds, and they could have used that time as soon as the time starts, as soon as the ball is snapped, so they could have consumed the 4 seconds very easily. And
well, that's Jerry Latin that collided with him. You know, if they'd have blocked that, it got out of the back of the end zone, it would have been a safety.
So either that or else block it, pick it up, and go in for a touchdown.
Right. Well, see, now everybody's piling off, but they've got to play another down because you cannot complete a half on a defensive foul. Well, wait a minute. Maybe they're going to refuse it. I guess they will refuse it. They figure they want to get out of here.
Personal foul Running into the kicker, number 24, defense. New Orleans declines the penalty. The half is over.
Well, that's the reason, because they could have got another play, but instead they refused the penalty, and the Saints, after a kind of a shaky last minute there, go into the halftime tied up with one of the two unbeaten teams in the NFL, the Los Angeles Rams. 3-3 our score at halftime. The Saints in Los Angeles here from the Coliseum.
When do you say Budweiser?
After doing this about 3,000 times a day. After a hard tennis match with my friend Ron.
As soon as I knock this ball out of the park. When do you say Budweiser?
It's everywhere.
When my mother-in-law leaves town.
Hasta de Lona you hear. Or when you say Budweiser. Let me hear you say it, people.
Budweiser.
You have said it all.
When you want it cut out quick, our brand's the one to pick. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. We help you pick up speed, and speed is what you need. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC.
Thanks, AC.
You can tell by their style and flair. They're now. And you can tell by the way they're getting there. They're now. The Futura is now.
There's a distinctive personal car for now. The 79 Futura with tomorrow's look right now. Space efficiency for now. High mileage ratings that are now. And a sticker price that says, why wait?
The future isn't someday, it's now.
Futura is now.
Fairmont Futura at your Ford dealers.
1975. One controversial play decides both a game and a playoff berth. The St. Louis Cardinals are in. You saw it on CBS Sports. Next Sunday on CBS Sports, Bud Wilkinson's St. Louis Cardinals collide with the Philadelphia Eagles. The New York Giants go south to tackle New Orleans. San Francisco squares off against Washington. Detroit bumps heads with Chicago. And Tampa Bay clashes with Green Bay. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. You'll say... You saw it on CBS Sports.
Live from New York. I got to give you a statistic. Last year, month of November now, whole month, Tampa Bay scores a total of 7 points. Look at what they did this afternoon. In one game, they get 33, and they shoot down Chicago 33-19, and the Buccaneers now are 4-4. And the Jets defeated St. Louis. I don't think Bud Wilkinson used to lose this many games in 5 years. Now he's 0-8. Upset. The Giants 17, Washington 6. The Giants are stalking a playoff spot. Buffalo 5, Cincinnati 0. The Bengals have not scored a touchdown in 3 games. Upset. Detroit 31, San Diego 14. Back to the drawing boards for Don Coryell. Minnesota 21. Green Bay 7. So the Vikes now 4-4. They are tied with Tampa Bay. Dallas and Philadelphia. Eagles played them gut tough in the second half. Didn't give up a point and then just fell short, 14-7. Cleveland and Kansas City, 17-3 the final there. Kansas City a winner, that too, and upset. Atlanta and San Francisco. With about 2 minutes to go in the first half, the 49ers lead it by 7, 14-7. And of course the game you're watching tied at the half. Los Angeles 3 and New Orleans 3. Miami and New England. And New England gave up 7 quick points. They've rallied. It is now 14-7 Patriots. Denver and Baltimore. The Greek said this one was going to be close. He may be right for once today. 7-3, Baltimore leading Denver. Seattle is ahead of Oakland. Oh, Irv, he's going to be in a bad mood. The Greek loves those Raiders. Let's check in on some highlights. Washington and the New York Giants. The Giants now have not lost to the Redskins since John McVay became the Giants head coach. Watch this play right here. Pisarcik has got Robinson, but look how wide open he is. Defensive back comes back, and Robinson gets in for 6. Now watch the blocking. Look at 68 get out there and lead that play. That's improvement by the Giants. It's a 31-yard run by Coder. Set up a field goal. It was 10-0. Oh, here's the Giants version of the flea flicker. Pisarcik to Taylor, Robinson to Pisarcik, and James Thompson is roaring down toward the goal line. to the 4. And they strike again. You'll watch it right here. Irv Cross diagrammed this play. No off tackle, he said. And Fitzarchik ran for the corner. Now we're going to show you the Washington ball, 1st and 10 on the 15. Time was running out, and here's their splendid middle linebacker, Harry Carson, intercepting Joe Theismann. And somewhere, Billy Kilmer was standing and watching. And so, the standings in the NFCs have got the Cowboys now tied with the Redskins, who have lost 2 in a row. And there are the Giants, only a game out. Philadelphia 2 back. And St. Louis, wait till next year. Irv, what about Tampa Bay?
Well, they scored 33 points today, Brent. They did it in convincing fashion as they downed the Chicago Bears 33-19 down in Tampa Bay. And, of course, young quarterback Doug Williams had a field day throwing the ball. Here he goes to Jim Obradovich in the second half. Pretty nifty throw, but Obradovich makes a miraculous catch there, and Tampa took a 13-7 lead. But Avellini comes back with a screen play to Walter Payton. Of course, when you watch Walter Payton run the football, all you can do is sort of sit back and watch it because it's magic in action. Walter goes down around the 15-yard line, setting up a scoring opportunity for Roland Harper. He goes in, and Chicago took a 16-13 lead. But Johnny Davis comes back on an off-tackle play and blasts down to the 7-yard line, setting up a Doug Williams quarterback sneak, goes in. Tampa takes a 19-16 lead, but it's not over yet. In the 4th quarter, Doug Williams goes to Morris Owens, rolls to his right, picks up Owens, a 40-yard pass, catch, reception, and Tampa Bay won it 33-19.
And Irv, our producer, Mike Pearl, good Miami boy, tells me the Dolphins have just tied up the Patriots at 14. And the NFL today will continue with more highlights right after we have these messages for you from our local stations along the line.
The grass is always greener over the septic tank comes to television. Starring Carol Burnett and Charles Grodin. A very funny look at life, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Great, standard. At this low price, the spanking new 79 Pinto at your Ford dealer.
Well, the Rams had a little mix-up. They called a timeout. Pat Hayden has returned to the huddle. 29 seconds remaining in this quarter as we have a first down from the 32 as Isaiah Robertson impatiently watching from the sideline. He has not played thus far. He walked out on Friday, came back to the ball club on Saturday, suited up, but Brzezinski's gone all the way. Here is McCutcheon on the first down. And McCutcheon drags people with him close to the 25-yard line. One thing about the Rams, when you take Capoletti, McCutcheon, and Bryant, you've got to hit them low. They'll just take you with them.
On the last play, the key to the success of that play was Capoletti. He dogged Joe Fetterspiel. Fetterspiel came through there in good shape, but he got a key block on him. The running back ran inside McCutcheon and got a nice gain on the play, but it was only due to the fact that Capoletti made a great block.
There it is again, as Hank describes it. Here he comes. Look at that block on number 58. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The New Orleans Saints 3, the Los Angeles Rams 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Linda Lavin, Christy McNichol, Max Gale, and Patrick O'Neill.
I want to know where he's sleeping tonight. He's sleeping in the living room.
Like Mom, Like Me, the Sunday movie at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Start your Sunday with 60 Minutes. Then it's All in the Family.
Poor Aunt Rose.
She died. And the gang on Alice tries to break their bad habits. Next, a special Sunday movie, Like Mom, Like Me, with Linda Lavin and Christy McNichol. A great Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central and Mountain.
15 minutes left to play in this one, and there's a stat that I think shows the problem the Rams have been having today. They made a lot of mistakes and come at a very inopportune time. We start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. Capoletti, and Capoletti is not going to get the first down. They come to a 3rd down. Fetterspiel making the stop. Hank, I just said a moment ago, I'm really surprised how low scoring this game is.
Well, a team that's won 7 games in a row, you know, they're going to be very cautious and very deliberate, and they want to make sure they keep the string going. On the other hand, the New Orleans Saints want to do everything they possibly can to stay in the race. They've got some patched up people up front. They want to make sure they don't make a lot of mistakes. So both of them are playing very conservatively and justifiably so.
Well, the Rams have 260 yards in total offense. Hayden rolling out, throws. He tapped it. I don't believe he caught it. There's a flag on the play. Now, wait a minute.
There's a flag on the play. Now, what they call, I don't know.
On that ED rule, a completion on that pass? It's holding. It doesn't matter anyway, but that would have been quite a catch. It looked like he may have trapped the ball. The official was holding the spot at the 17, so that was a completed pass, but they're going to bring it back.
That was the second rollout that Hayden's been involved with in this game so far. Watch, he rolls to his right. Fetterspiel is pursuing from the inside out.
75. How about him? Do you think that's a hold right there?
Williams, I think, is the guy who they call it on, and Elois Grooms really did a great job of out-containing the play.
Holding. Number 75, offense. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, that's a 9th penalty against. Look at that face mask, would you, that he wears? This game here, I don't think. Are you sure of that? Are we absolutely sure that Seattle's leading 24-0?
Isn't that incredible? They're playing in Seattle. Anything can happen there.
Boy, that's incredible. Anyway, that's a 9th penalty against the Rams. Hayden back trying to pick it up. And he goes to the big tight end, Terry Nelson. And Nelson is very close to the first down as he's wrestled down.
You knew they had 7 defensive backs. They have a stunt. They expect the 4 linemen to rush the passer, but they want to get their tight end on number 89, and they do that. I should say 49. They do that, and is very close to the first down.
Ralph McGill is 49, who was in there with 5 defensive backs.
They made the first down.
How about that? They come from that penalty, and on one play, they get it back in a hurry. You know, prior to that last play, the Rams had 260 yards in total offense. New Orleans had only 71. Attendance today, 47,576. Beautiful afternoon for football.
If you're not careful, though, you play the game with a fear of losing rather than trying to win.
First down. In motion comes McCutcheon. Hayden on the first down, has got the protection. Now it's breaking down, and he fumbles the ball. And who's got it? The Saints. The New Orleans Saints have recovered the football. You know, the protection was there, Hank, and all of a sudden it broke down. What a mad scramble for the football.
Now watch, he's got a double wing formation on one side and only one back remaining. He's got plenty of time to throw. Watch, he's a little deliberate.
That's Don Reese that spun him around.
Yes.
And coming up with the ball, number 57, Jim Merlo. The Saints have the football.
From South Carolina to North Dakota, they know what makes a state fair a great fair.
Beer makes it good.
It's just one Schlitz.
There's no debate.
Nothing else comes near.
Beer makes it good.
When you're out of Schlitz.
Schlitz makes it great.
You're out of beer.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz. Every drop chill lagered for quality since 1849.
Schlitz makes it like no other could. Schlitz makes it great.
When I travel from business or pleasure, I take my realistic radio recorder from Radio Shack. It's compact and easy to carry. Has a built-in mic, ideal for taping business meetings. And the AM/FM radio lets me enjoy music and news. I can even record off the air. And right now, Radio Shack has them on sale. $30 off. A real bargain for people on the go. The realistic radio cassette recorder, just $59.95. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Well, a big opportunity now for the Saints after the fumble recovery on the sack by Don Reese from the 22. They have it. 3-3 our score. 13 and a half minutes left in this game. Archie Manning going to throw on first down. He gets it off to Muncy, and Muncy was out of bounds. It will not count. He did have both feet in. That's one of the few times he's thrown to the backs here this afternoon.
Yeah, and they'll be open anytime you want to throw to them, really, because the linebackers are really tough, geared to the run, and especially on the other side with Brzezinski. On a first down, they ought to, I don't know how well they could cover Chuck Muncy or Tony Galbraith on a play-action situation, especially on the early downs. That time he was wide open.
Well, they might catalog that and use it again. Second down, 10. Pinker Owens at the bottom of the screen. Mike Harris to the top. This crowd not happy about that fumble. And here comes Jack Youngblood. Now, was he drawn out? I got to believe he was, the way he came across there. Let's see.
Youngblood is indicating that an offensive lineman moved, but I don't think he did. I think he just anticipated the call.
He may have just tried to convince the officials that that happened.
Yes. Oh, it was against the Saints. I thought... Oh, yeah, there it is. Robert Woods. He's the one that moved prematurely.
I tell you, our crew doing a heck of a job today showing some of those plays. There was an example of it. Woods just moved an eyelash, and that's all you got to do.
Ball start. Number 64, offense, second down.
I'm sorry, it was Lafari, 64. Looked like Woods.
Yes, it did.
I think they made a mistake because that's 65 that's playing that spot. It was Woods. Second down now, 15. Manning complete to Muncy, but he doesn't go anywhere. He loses a yard. Jack Reynolds made sure of that. Tell you, had he not made that tackle, it looked like Muncy had a little running room, but Hacksaw, the middle linebacker, was there. Seattle's just pouring salt to the wound this afternoon as far as the Raiders are concerned. 27-0. How do you shut out the Oakland Raiders?
That's hard to believe.
Herrera just kicked a 32-yard field goal in that game. You know, Seattle last week got behind 28-0 to Green Bay, came fighting back. 5 defensive backs are in now for the Rams on a 3rd and 16.
Blitz.
And is almost intercepted.
Well, that was a blitz, and Archie read it right. Henry Childs didn't see the ball coming quickly enough. It was almost intercepted. But it was a good read by Archie Manning.
Nolan Cromwell is the guy that almost picked it up.
See, the linebacker's coming. The tight end should be wide open, which he was, but he threw it. It looked like either behind Henry or else Henry didn't locate the ball. One of the two.
The wrong shoulder. It was coming over his wrong shoulder. He looked one way, the ball went the other. So now Blanchard will have to kick from the goal line. Wallace is back deep. He didn't hit that one very well. It's a line drive kick. Wallace to the 40, and he's to the 36-yard line. Jackie Wallace hit by Don Schwartz, the rookie out of Washington State. They're going to mark it at just outside the 36-yard line. And now the Rams, who are trying to keep their unbeaten string alive here in the Coliseum. They've won 11 straight since 1976. Now have an opportunity. That was only a 38-yard kick by Blanchard.
You know, either team has run a draw play with any degree of success or a play-action quick screen. Whoa!
Look out! Boy, that was 6 points, and Pat Hughes picked that one off. You talk about a matter of seconds and inches.
I thought he intercepted the ball. He was coming in nicely at the right angle, but just missed it. A beautiful play by Pat Hughes. Look at it. Look at it. Boy, that is... It'd have been a big scorch mark down the right sideline had he caught that ball.
You know what messed that up was Waddy kind of reached out and grabbed him when he went by, or Hughes would have had 6 points. 2nd and 10. I'll bet you Ray Malavasi stopped breathing for a moment. 2nd down, 10 from the 36.5. Here's Capoletti, fumbles the ball. Guess who's got it? Pat Hughes. And Hughes, who's just all over the place, brings it out to the 33, and the Rams continue to turn the ball over.
Here's a play they like to run. Joe Pettersfield coming over. Derlin Moore, 74. Pat Hughes turning it inside. There you see Tommy Myers in the play. The ball is jarred loose, and Pat Hughes recovers the fumble.
I'm hurting in places I didn't know I had. They got me doing things I never thought I could. Feeling good, feeling strong, part of something I belong.
The Army can make you feel a lot of ways. Challenged, trained, and proud.
With this time, with these people, with this feeling, feeling good, feeling good.
Sears National Automotive Sale. Get the power that started a car after 3 months on a frozen lake. Get the price. Save $7 on the maintenance-free Die Hard. Now only $47.99 with trade-in. The shock absorber the Choi Chitwood stunt team didn't wear out in a whole season. Sears Best Shock Absorber, the Steady Rider, is now on sale. Only $11.99 each. You save 20%. At Sears.
Next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, NBA action returns to CBS for the 1978-79 championship season. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
You know, the ball that time was actually knocked loose by Derlin Moore's foot. There it is, number 74. And Capoletti is carrying the ball away from his body, and that's what happens when you don't keep it in close.
So after the turnover, a fumble recovery by Pat Hughes from the 34. The Saints have it. 12:09 left in this game. Here comes Muncy. And Chuck gets a yard to the 35-yard line. Jack Reynolds over there. This stat, something, look at that. 3 fumbles, 1 interception. You tack 9 penalties on that, and that's the whole story for Los Angeles.
That's exactly right, and the Saints are doing a good job. They're playing it close to the vest, not making any mistakes, waiting for the Rams to make a mistake, and they don't make many, and that's why this game is 3-3 at this stage of the contest.
From the 35, 2nd and 9. Manning with protection. Up the middle, wide open, the big tight end Childs. Henry Childs, it's a first down. Jack Reynolds made the stop, and he was just wide open.
Wide open, they were doubling on the outside. Tony Galbraith was also wide open, but the guy that you want to lick in this pass coverage is Elmendorf, number 42, the strong safety. He's a guy that you want to get anytime you possibly can. That time the middle area was wide open, and Archie very wisely read it and got the ball right on target to Henry Childs.
First down to the 47-yard line. Manning now 7 of 15 for 79 yards. Saints have only 37 net yards in this half. This is Muncy. Oh, the ball is fumbled. Fred Dreyer picks it up. And you could see that developing. He was again carrying the ball away from his body. The same thing had happened to Capoletti.
That's right. It's all a part of discipline. The ball carrier has to carry that ball close to his body. You swing it away from your body, and it jars loose when you get hit. That's exactly what happened. Dreyer, 89, picks up the ball, and the Rams have possession. 1st and 10 on about the 28-yard line.
It was Dave Elmendorf who came up and batted that ball or knocked the ball away from Muncy. So the first turnover of the game for the Saints sets it up at the 29, and Fred Dreyer very alertly came up with it. So now, the Rams have that opportunity with 10:38. They've had it before, though. They've had 2 fumbles in this 4th quarter. give to McCutcheon, and the Saints are not going to give up.
That was a blitz that time. They've been running so much on first down that time the Saint defense blitzed, which was very wise. They didn't have any running room. They filled all the gaps, and as a result, there was no place to run. It's second down. Lost about 3.
Joe Fetterspiel, Don Reese in on the tackle. Second down, 13 yards. Well, make it 12.
That time the defense guessed right, the offense guessed wrong.
So the Rams going to run out of opportunities here. This is the third time they've been inside the Saints into the field in this fourth quarter. Willie Miller, and Miller has a catch. It's just about a yard short of the first down. Maurice Spencer over to make the tackle for New Orleans.
It's just a sideline pattern in front of Maurice Spencer, number 29. He gets the ball right on target perfectly and is just short, about a yard short of first down.
You see the time ticking away here at the Coliseum. You also see the down in yardage, 3rd and 1.
Jackie Slater and Charlie Young are in there at the tight end spot. They got 3 of them in there now, trying to get the first down.
They need to get to the 19. Get to McCutcheon, and McCutcheon, I don't believe he made it. He did not make it. It's a 4th down coming up, and a tenacious defensive effort here by the Saints. Looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss. He avoided that tackle, and they closed in on him. 4th down. Now, Mr. Stram, what do you do?
Well, you got to kick the field goal. You must kick it with a score 3-3, and you have to really give the defense of the New Orleans Saints a lot of credit. They're really playing a gritty game, doing a terrific job defensively. Alex Price, Derlin Moore, Lois Grooms, all of them doing a great job along with the linebackers.
Now the Rams now will be attempting a 38-yard field goal. Frank Correll to kick it. The kick is blocked. It looked like Don Reese. I believe it was Reese. Chapman comes up with it, and now we've got some problems on that far sideline. But if we can pick it up on replay, I think it's Don Reese. Let's see, Hank.
It looks like he's the one that got penetration, number 60. Let's see. There he is. He gets good penetration. He's got good range. He leaped and was responsible for the block kick.
Boy, he just blew him out of there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And Chapman, you can see, gets up. He tries to advance up the field. They're going to mark the ball. Well, wait a minute. We've got a flag over there. There's a penalty on the play. So the Rams, if they lose this game, this is going to haunt them, because the fourth quarter, they've had the ball 3 times inside that 35-yard line.
Holding number 50 on the kicking team during the block kick. Penalty declined. First down, New Orleans on the recovery.
But anyway, they've given up so many opportunities to put this game away. Kevin McLean was the guy, there he is, that was guilty of holding. He's a first-round draft pick out of Colorado State in '76. So we've got a timeout here at the Coliseum. Interesting football game. As Correll's field goal is blocked, it's still 3-3.
Here's 100 years of tradition coming at you.
Here comes the king. Here comes the king. Here comes the big number 1. Here comes the king. Budweiser beer, the king is second to none. When you say Bud, the king is coming. Let's hear the call. When you say Bud, you said it all. When you say Bud, you said it all.
Introducing a whole new breed of Mustang. The all-new '79 Mustang from Ford. With a new aerodynamic design, precise handling, and Mustang performance from options of V6, V8, even a turbocharged engine. Mustang for '79, the new breed in 2-door and 3-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Isaiah Robertson with Pat Hayden's hat on. He's a fan of Pat Hayden. I'll tell you, this whole team is really behind Pat Hayden. But right now, they've got some problems. The Rams just had a field goal blocked. And at the 33-yard line, the Saints tied up 3-3. They have the football. Tony Galbraith. Galbraith is wrapped up for maybe a yard gain at most. Larry Brooks coming over there. Jack Reynolds. Tell you, Galbraith just disappeared on that play. Brooks at 254, Reynolds at 231. Both of them very heady football players. This Ram defense, they're comparing it to that Pearson Foursome of years ago, the way they're playing.
Well, they're not as big as that defense was, but boy, they're very quick and very agile and read and react as well as anybody in the league.
Nolan Cromwell comes in, 5 defensive backs. Second down, 10 yards to go. Manning's going to go down. Both sides coming in on him. Dreyer, Brooks, and Brooks will get the sack. And that's the second sack of this game for Larry Brooks.
Archie goes back. They've got 6 or 5 defensive backs in the game. But Brooks comes through there along with, watch Dreyer on the backside. And Brooks do a great job. Sack number 4 on Manning in this game so far.
Larry Brooks. New England leading Miami. That's a battle for the supremacy of the AFC East.
I'm still surprised that they don't try to roll out some with Archie. He does that so well, and he hasn't done it at all in this game except on one occasion, and I think that was by accident.
Third down, 19 yards to go. A flag. Way back to the other side, and boy, that one almost was picked off. Coming over on that far side was Rod Berry. The intended receiver is Galbraith. I got to believe that might have been holding, though, where that flag was thrown, and that's what it is, holding against the Saints. They'll refuse that, though, because it brings up 4th down.
Yes.
There's Berry. Berry picked off 128 yards against the Saints in that first game for a touchdown.
Number 65, offense, decline, 4th down.
Well, the Ram defense bottles them up again. Blanchard, who did not kick well the last time, will attempt one from the 10-yard line. Wallace is back deep. Last 2 kicks have not been good. Blanchard had a 38-yarder and a 21-yarder. Jackie Wallace back at the 35. Sets up the wall to the near side, but it's broken up very effectively that time. Coming over to make the stop, Ron Crosby, the former Detroit Lion.
The other thing, that was only 3.4. Wasn't up there very long.
3-3. We're all tied up.
3 unidentified 19-inch color TV pictures, each the best of its brand. Over 1,000 people saw them and picked the one with the best overall picture. They didn't pick America's biggest seller, Zenith, or the second biggest, RCA. Over 60% picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset. Over 60%. We're not the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture. The Sylvania Superset.
Fred, we got a new page 1 here.
Making sure the news gets out is what my job's about. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find
the premium taste of Pabst. It's a lot to look forward to.
I've got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind.
The grass is always greener over the septic tank comes to television. Starring Carol Burnett and Charles Grodin. A very funny look at life, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Well, there's your story. You can see the 3 points on both sides coming in the second quarter on field goals. There's Pat Hayden's effort for the afternoon. 7:02 left in this one from the 41-yard line. Quick pitch to McCutcheon. And McCutcheon weaves his way across the 50-yard line. Play didn't look like it was going to develop for that much. Eventually, Maurice Spencer over to make the stop. And that's a first down for Los Angeles.
That's the nice thing about a controlled runner like McCutcheon. Pat Hughes came up the field. He cut inside of that block and made a nice run inside in the seam that was open. And he picked up the yardage. And now it's 1st and 10. Los Angeles Rams.
I tell you, the Saints have had to play a lot of defense in the second half. It's been warm today. Give to McCutcheon. He'll go the other way. And about the same result. He's inside the 45. Tom Myers coming over to make the tackle. And McCutcheon now starting to sweep left, sweep right, and now he's got a second down and still about 3 yards. Let's make it 4 yards to go. Say the coaches may have said, let's just give it to number 30 and let's get this thing over with, get it in.
Yeah, McCutcheon's 18 for 44 yards so far. Saints have done a great job on him.
On a 2nd and 4, Capoletti. And he's not going to get that first down, so it goes to a 3rd down.
You know,
Erlen Moore in on the stop.
They used that same formation the last time on a second down situation and ran exactly the same play. The Saints reacted very well to it, and they didn't make much on the play.
3rd down still, almost 3 yards to go. The ball at the 41. Time 5:15. Hayden on the 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Hayden just couldn't find anybody open on that play. Nelson, the intended receiver. Jim Merlo was the guy that was giving Hayden some problems. He didn't know whether to run or throw. It was Merlo who was forcing the action. So it's 4th down again, and that Saint defense gets another accolade as they have hung in there and they've had their backs to the wall this entire 4th quarter.
Hayden's 13 for 22 for 168 yards so far in the game, but they still have just 3 points.
He's been sacked twice, thrown 1 interception as Glenn Walker goes back. Wes Chandler at the 10-yard line. Hey, he's faking it. Look out. He is hit, and it's intercepted by Eric Felton. Who was the guy that came after Walker? Walker's hurt. I think it's Rich Motti. Motti just unloaded on Glenn Walker. Look at this, Hank.
Yep. Motti really came in there, took the right angle, and really destroyed him on the shot. As a result, he had to throw the ball way too high. Jackie Wallace was the intended receiver.
Eric Felton picked it off, and Walker is down. Glenn Walker, he's not used to having contact like that as a punter, as he really got annihilated by Motti. That gives us time now to remind you next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific, the CBS Sports Spectacular, the Phoenix 150. What a shootout that's going to be between Al Unser and the defending USAC national champion Tom Sneva. And then it'll be followed by the world's strongest men. And get this, the event is a car lift. They have to pick up the back bumper, get both wheels off of the surface, and they start at 1,800 pounds. The Phoenix 150, the world's strongest men. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Well, Walker is still down over there, and there's one thing we said before, Hank. I've never seen a year when we've had more controversy around punters, field goal kickers. Injuries have caused a lot of it, and now the Rams may be having some problems in that department.
Very unusual in a lot of respects, and you don't know what the reason is. It's always hard to explain why these things happen, and the more you try to dwell on it, the worse it gets.
Well, he's up now. It looks like he might be all right. He may have taken a shot in the ribs. Rich Motti, by the way, is the special performer. He's the special teams deluxe player. He had 16 tackles on special teams play coming into today. And boy, he came flying through there. He spotted what Walker was doing, and he made him pay for it.
And the nice thing about it was that he was going to try to block the kick, but he saw what happened. He readjusted his course and got a good shot on the kicker. But that's a typical example of the kind of a player he is.
Well, San Francisco beating Atlanta. Now, Atlanta and New Orleans were tied for second place in the NFC West. So if the Saints could win this one, they would have undisputed second place. From the 30-yard line, a first down. Archie Manning trying to throw to Galbraith. That was a tough play because Galbraith turned one way and had to come back the other.
Yes. And even at that, he almost got the ball.
Jim Youngblood was back there. Youngblood really gets his drops in a hurry. He can get back.
Yes, he does. But in spite of that, he was still open, and both linebackers give give you a lot of room, and as a result, you ought to be able to throw to the backs in the flat areas and let them run with the football, especially on first down. They just haven't had a chance to do that much in the game. They haven't.
We have a man shaken up again, and that's Woods. It's going off the field. He's being helped off, and coming in will be Kevin Hunt. That's the second time that Woods has had to be taken out of the game. So it's second down 10. This has been a real barroom brawl here in the fourth quarter. Both teams turning the ball over. The Rams have been so close, but they haven't been able to put the lid on it, and the Saints are alive.
It's a great defensive football game, no question about it.
Archie Manning on second and 10. He gets it off. Muncie had it for a stride, and that was all. I tell you, that was run for your life, and Manning averted being dumped back there and losing long yardage.
That was a blitz situation again. Archie was looking downfield to get rid of the football, but he didn't have time. He jumps into the pocket and dumps the ball off to Chuck Muncie, but Chuck couldn't keep hold of the handle on it, and it falls incomplete.
Third down. Walker, we understand, bruised his tailbone. The punter who faked that punt. Hope nothing serious. And you see Woods, number 65, is back in the game. He's out one play. Third and 10. Up the middle, he's got his man, Childs, and Childs has a first down. Childs has been a big clutch receiver for the last 2 years for the Saints team.
Yeah. I don't think there's a better tight end in all of professional football than Henry Childs. And Archie really steps up and really whistles this ball. There again, it's on Elmendorf, and he's a guy that you look for. He's a guy that you want to lick, and they licked him on that play.
Henry Childs last year caught 9 touchdown passes. He hasn't caught one this year. But look at that. He has 20 catches. He led the tight ends touchdown catches last year. First down, so he delivers on a third down. And for the first time, the Saints have a little field position in this fourth quarter. Manning. He gets rid of it to Tinker Owens. And Owens to the 45. And Manning surveyed the whole field about 3 times before he released that football.
He's got a great feel for trouble and also has a great feel and understanding of where everybody is. And that's why he can jump around, move around, and get the ball to the right guy because he's fully aware of what's happening.
Baltimore leading Denver 7-6. I wonder if they missed a point after or 2 field goals. There's your stats. Second down, 3 yards to go from the 45. 3:21 left in this deadlock 3-3 game. Manning to Galbraith, and Galbraith just about to the 41, and that looks like a first down.
Yes, I think he made the first down. Jack Reynolds made the tackle, but it's very definitely, I think from here, it looks like a first down.
See Jack Reynolds getting up a little slow, number 64. I'll tell you one thing I'm surprised by, Coach, is the fact that I knew the Saints had good people to skilled positions, but they have held their own in the trenches here today.
Well, you know, you talk about injuries, and it can be very deceptive in that you talk about Robert Woods. You know, he's a regular tackle for the New York Jets for 5 years when we traded for him or got him a year ago. So it's not like putting a rookie in there. Dave Lapari is a fine young offensive lineman, 6'7", 265 or 275. He's playing right guard. And so really the only new guy in the offensive line really is J.T. Taylor, a left tackle. And, of course, Sturts is playing left guard, too, and he's doing a good job in there, too, for a youngster. But he's been around for 4 or 5 years.
Well, the first down was made. The ball at the 42 of Los Angeles. 2:50. Archie Manning. It's complete to Childs again, and Childs trying to get the first down. I don't believe he made it. And Henry Childs right now is the man that Manning is looking to. Manning was dumped when he released this ball.
Yes, but here again, Elmendorf is the guy they're working on. Cody Jones that time, 76er coming in. Youngblood was over there too.
By the way, there's a flag on the play. We didn't spot it at first, all the way back to the 45. And now it's going to go against Los Angeles. Personal foul. And that'll tack yardage on. And now the Saints have to think about a field goal with 2:28. They don't want to risk the turnover.
That's right.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 76, defense. The penalty is tacked on to the dead ball spot on a completion.
That was Cody Jones. I saw Manning get dumped. I didn't watch it that all the way through, but he was late getting there.
Yes, Cody Jones, 76, came through there.
Well, there's the stats. There's Cody Jones, fifth-year man from San Jose State. He has 2 sacks this year. And now the Saints, in his 3-3 game, have the ball at the 19-yard line. Manning rolling out. Complete to Galbraith. 10-5 touchdown. Tony Galbraith took it in, and the Saints bench is empty. They're coming onto the field. That's the play that they didn't go to earlier, and they got it in for 6 points.
There you are. There's a great illustration of the fullback wide open on Brzezinski. Watch him. Wide open. There's no way in the world he can cover Tony Galbraith or Chuck Muncie. He was there all day long. It's the first time they've thrown it.
19-yard touchdown. And looks like we have another man down on the field for New Orleans at the 19-yard line. That would be Chuck Muncie. Boy, I hope nothing serious on him. He's had problems with that knee, and that looks like what they're looking at now, the left knee of Muncie. That would hurt. That would take some of the flavor away from that touchdown. There's Dick Nolan. Well, now the Rams with 2:22, you got to think about them a little bit, are in real danger of losing their first game of this year. There's Muncie. Boy, this guy, I tell you, Hank, if he can stay healthy, he can play with anybody.
Yeah, he missed some games. He missed about 4 games earlier. You don't know how serious this is or whether it's the same knee. The Rams have had 10 penalties for 112 yards, 3 fumbles, and 2 interceptions. It's hard to win a football game with those kind of problems.
The left knee of Chuck Muncie. And that's what he's been having problems with, is the knee. He tore the ligament in the knee and had to miss 3 games. Battled back, played last week, and here today. Here's Nickemeyer with a point after attempt. This is some game. 9-3 the score. The kick by Nickemeyer. He gets it up high, and he's got it. It's 10-3, and now the Rams have the pressure on their back. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this game. The Rams, who came in here unbeaten, 7-0 with 11 straight wins in the Los Angeles Coliseum, now trailing the upstart New Orleans Saints, who are trying to even their record up at 4-4 for the year. It's been the type of game where Archie Manning, here in the 4th quarter, showing a lot of courage, staying back there, getting sacked once, able to throw the ball to Galbraith for the 19-yard touchdown, and Manning all year long has been a clutch performer for this team.
He's been very hot all season long. I'm sure he didn't throw much last week because he was hurt a little bit. But he's a premier quarterback, and I think people around the country are starting to realize what a great a talent and ability he is.
10-3. And now the 2-minute offense will come out. Ray Malabase's crew like to get a good return now by Jerry Latin. Latin to 15, Latin out to the 20, and he's to the 22-yard line. Well, Hank, you work on this during the week, don't you? Your 2-minute offense, and
yes,
that's just about what they've got right now.
But you don't like to have to put it in effect when you're behind like you are right now with 2:12 left in a game. The defense of the Saints is playing extremely well, and I'll be very surprised if this Ram team can penetrate that defense in the last 2 minutes. Let's see what happens.
Jack Holmes made the tackle on that kickoff, and here they come. And it looked like we had movement on the offensive line on the right-hand side, and that's not the way to get your drive started. Looked like the right guard or tackle for Los Angeles moved before the ball was snapped. That's what it was. So they'll be starting 1st and 15. You know, that last drive, we were mentioning Manning, he was 4 for 4 for 51 yards on that touchdown drive.
When he had to put the bread on the table, he put it right there.
He's got great courage.
And the other thing, you have to give a lot of credit.
Start, number 75, offense, 1st down.
See if we can pick it up now. There's Hayden looking around, and there it is.
There it was.
Yes, sir. Williams, 75. Oh, they've been right by the penalties. 1st and 15. Hayden back. He's going to run it. He's got a lot of running room. And he brings it out to the 26-yard line. Of course, he had a 1st and 15, so had a long ways to go. Joe Fettersfield over to make the stop. And the ball at the 26. Los Angeles is going to call for a timeout. That is their second timeout of this game. Well, I'm sorry, it's a 2-minute warning that is now being executed. 10-3, New Orleans.
We could tell you that Pioneer's PL518 probably offers today's best value in a direct drive turntable. We could tell you its tone arm rides on 10 times the conventional number of ball bearings for smoother tracking, or that its direct drive motor all but eliminates wow and flutter. But nothing we tell you will be as convincing as this. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Well, the 2-minute warning has just been completed. The Rams with their work cut out for them. Second down now, 5. The Saints trying to do something here this afternoon they've never done before, and that's win in the Coliseum. They started coming here in 1967. Here's McCutcheon. He dropped it. That play there, Hank, would indicate to me a little bit of Los Angeles trouble all afternoon long. They've shown in times they've been a little flat.
Well, I tell you, when you lose and make as many mistakes as they made today, that's invariably the reaction that you have. It looks like a team is flat, but they just, you know, when you make that many mistakes, it's very obvious that the concentration level isn't as good as it should be, and as a result, you are a little flat and not quite as alert, not quite as sharp, and these are the things that happen to you.
And they came off a very emotional high, beating Minnesota last week. So it's third down, 5, 1:57 left in this game. Hayden, he's got his man. That's a first down to the 45-yard line, and they're not dead yet as Ron Jesse came up with a catch.
Holding.
Wait a minute, bring it back.
Holding against the Rams, I think.
We have another Saint shaken up on the play at the 21-yard line. Well, as we just mentioned, the penalties, it comes right back and haunts them again. They had the first down all the way out to the 45.
And this is what happens, I think, when you win big and you play a team that hasn't won big. You have the mistaken impression that, well, you know, it's going to be easy, especially after a big game like they won against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota last week. And the next thing you know, you just can't throw the hat out in the middle of the field and expect to win.
Look at that, 12 for 128 yards.
It's always the same. You have to earn the right to win. You just can't go out there and think you're going to win because you won last week or because you won 7 in a row.
That was a 19-yard pass completion. That will not count. And now let's listen to the explanation. The man that's going off the field, shaken up on the play. Look at this, 24 all. What a barn burner that is.
Holding.
Looks like Alex Price going on.
75 offense. Repeat third down.
There's John Williams, and he's coming off the field. I've never seen a face mask like that. That's the 5th penalty on Williams today. John Williams have a tough afternoon. Third down now, 15. Hayden still going to try to battle out of it. Across the near side to Willie Miller, and a flag. Pass interference is coming up.
Looks like pass interference on Maurice Spencer, number 29. Let's see what they call it, but I think that's what they call. He was lucky that ball wasn't intercepted. He threw it all the way across the field. It was floating up there like the air was going out of it. And there's Maurice Spencer, number 29. On Miller, number 82, first down, the Rams.
That's an automatic first down. They didn't have enough yardage, but it's an automatic first down across the 30, and they're still alive. 1:38, you see the time remaining. Hayden scrambles out of it. He fumbles the ball, but the Rams recover it. That has been an elusive football today. McCutcheon saves it for Los Angeles. They're going to have to hurry now. The clock running with 1:22. They gained a couple of yards on that play. Second down. Look out. Hayden from behind gets it off to Capoletti. He's very close to the first down, but Hayden now is not getting up. Hayden is down at the 25-yard line. He really took a shot from Don Reese, who has been all over this football field. Reese is playing like an all-pro today for New Orleans. Now the Rams, interestingly enough, are one of 6 teams in the NFL to carry only 2 quarterbacks on their roster. There he goes under the weight of Reese.
Well, he really gave him a shot, and of course, that, you know, anytime you get hit from the blind side like that, you're wide open, and that's where the majority of the injuries take place in professional football. A lot of people have a mistaken impression that they get hurt when they run, but that's not the case. They get hurt when they throw the ball, when they're all spread out, release the ball, and then get hit.
Here's Vince Ferragamo, who will come in. He's only thrown 4 passes this year, completing 2 of them. Hayden coming off on his own power, and that's good to see. You know, I asked the Rams, I said, you know, it's interesting you only carry 2 quarterbacks. They said, well, we felt if we got down to the 3rd quarterback, we wouldn't be playing Super Bowl anyway. And that's what they were thinking of. So Ferragamo comes in. They are just short of the first down on that completion to Capoletti. There's still time. 1:07. The ball just across the 40-yard line. It's 3rd down, an inch or 2 to go.
I'm sure they'll try to make the first down and then put Hayden back in the game. Let's see if he's able to come back in the game.
Ferragamo is no slouch. He's quite a prospect. Got a great arm. 6'3", 207. Big guy. He grew up in California and then transferred from California and went to the University of Nebraska to win All-American honors. 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Give to McCutcheon. He's got the first down to the 45. The Rams with 2 timeouts remaining. That 1 timeout they used earlier on a mix-up could hurt them. First down from the 45. Ferragamo again. Far side intended for McCutcheon. And that'll stop the clock.
Hayden's back in the game. I felt sure they'd put him right back in there unless something seriously was wrong with him.
That's a tough place to bring a quarterback into. 49 seconds left.
And only 1 timeout left.
According to the scoreboard clock, we have 2, but there's only 1. Well, we'll go with our official people here. 1 timeout. I don't remember the second timeout.
They put Young in there, tight end.
From the 45, 2nd down, 10, Hayden in, cranking up. It is caught by Ron Jesse. A juggling catch by Jesse to the 35. First down. The clock continues to run. Hayden again. And a diving attempt at the interception by Tommy Myers. And that stops it with 23 seconds. So at the 35-yard line, the Rams trying desperately to get this game into overtime. Tuesday night on CBS, Papillon. And you want to talk about a frightening movie, an adventure movie. That is some movie. I saw Papillon, and it's going to be coming up Tuesday night, starting at 8, 7 Central Mountain Time. Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. Sensational, that movie. Don't miss it. 2nd down and 10. Hayden, a flag on the play. Incomplete at the 20. Capoletti, the intended receiver, but a flag has been thrown. Holding against Los Angeles. 18 seconds left in the game. I want to thank our spotters, Chuck Panama and Harry Lake, our statistician, Art Hoffman, and our scorer, Ozzie Lang, for their excellent help here today. And from the 35, they'll start marking off 10 yards. Our producer, Barry Smith, and our director, Bob Daly. I tell you, there's a couple of pros in that truck today.
The best in the business.
Holding.
And Ray Ball, our associate director.
Offense. Repeat, 2nd down.
65, that's Tom Mack. Thank you, gentlemen, for your help. As now, with 18 seconds left, the Rams trying somehow to get this ball in the end zone. It's Second down and 20. Hayden throwing as he's hit. Just as he released the ball, Grooms got to him.
Louis Grooms got good pressure on him, and just as he started to release the ball, got a piece of his arm. Great play by Grooms, number 78.
Now, Hank, you come to a third down. Now, you come to a situation where you're almost going to have to put one up in the air and everybody try to run after it in the end zone, right?
Yes, you will have to do that on fourth down. They're going to try to get a little closer now, so they take a little pressure off their offense. But if they get a shot on fourth down, they got to throw it in the end zone with the hope and expectation that maybe they can make some kind of a big play and tie it. Hayden is 15 for 27 for 194 yards, 1 interception, and 2 sacks.
Colin Bryant is checked into the backfield, replacing Lawrence McCutcheon. He's got time. Intercepted. Ray Brown with his second interception, and that'll do it. And the surprising New Orleans Saints are going to even their record at 4-4 and pick up their first win ever here in the Los Angeles Coliseum. And the Rams will go down to their first setback of the year, which means there's only one unbeaten team in the NFL. And Hank, you'll be there Monday. Pittsburgh against Houston as the Steelers, the only team that's unbeaten. And the way things are going today, it's going to be tough for Pittsburgh to remain unbeaten.
Listen, the thing, you know, is competition, the way, as keen as it is, the emotional level changes so much from week to week that anybody can win. And I think, you know, this is a great compliment to the New Orleans Saints coaching staff and their football team. They did a remarkable job out here today, the first time they've ever won in Los Angeles. But it should provide some strong impetus for this team as they go along the second half of the season.
I'll tell you, further up the way, San Francisco and Atlanta, with 1:17 left in that game, are now tied up 17-all. So now the Saints run the clock out, and the New Orleans Saints have won it here, 10-3. So it's been a good West Coast swing for them. They won in Candlestick Park last week against the 49ers. They stayed out here training at Palo Alto, Stanford University, and then they drove down a little distance, walked into the Coliseum, and did what a lot of people thought couldn't be done, and that's beat the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, on the other hand, their next game will be on a Monday night. They go against Atlanta, and Atlanta having quite a struggle this afternoon with the San Francisco 49ers. Well, the Rams led the division by 4 games coming in today with 9 to play. They're still in very good shape in the division, but now the Saints become a factor as far as a wild card playoff is concerned.
Well, the important thing is really, as far as it was a great win for the New Orleans Saints. The Rams, however, are still 3 games ahead, as you mentioned, and the important thing is what happens in the race, and they're in good shape. And of course, the Saints have helped their situation.
All right, the final score: New Orleans 10, Los Angeles 3. This is Gary Bender saying so long from the Coliseum for Hank Stram. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
Does the Bible permit corporal punishment against children? A Texas minister insists it does. But the state of Texas sent Brother Roloff to jail. Watch 60 Minutes tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Last September, they were nothing but a generation of hoodlums, as mean as snakes, stealing, robbing, getting cars, running the highway, shooting dope, robbing people's houses. Here's the secret of our He...